My name is Alan Carter, and I'm the founder and CEO of Cabral Gold. I've got a BSc in geology and a PhD in structural geology and gold geochemistry. I spent 13 years of my career working for large mining companies, namely Rio Tinto, Billiton, and BHP, and most of that time I lived and worked in South America, so I'm fluent in both Spanish and Portuguese. My last job with BHP was a business development manager based in Vancouver, Canada. And my job at that time was to identify junior companies with projects of potential interest to BHP and secured deals. After 4 years of working in that role, I realized that my personality, skills, and experience were better suited to being on the other side of the table and building and developing junior resource companies. So I left and I co-founded a company called Peregrine Metals. Peregrine Metals was a huge success and was sold to Stillwater Mining in 2011 for almost 500 million Canadian dollars. After that, I worked in Chile and became interested in the origin of all the placer gold in the Tapajós region of northern Brazil. Together with a friend of mine, we started to look at the many abandoned placer gold camps in the Tapajós region, and one of the first areas we looked at was called Tocantinzinho. We acquired the area, conducted the initial exploration work, including a soil sampling program, and organized the drill program. That initial drill program led to the discovery of over 2 million ounces and what is now the third largest open-pit gold mine in Brazil. I think Cabral's Cuiú Cuiú project, which is next door, will be significantly larger, but I have no idea at this point in time how much larger it will be. It obviously requires a lot of drilling. What I learned from my previous successes in the mining exploration industry is that a long-term commitment by management is key. It's not merely good enough to invest in a team that has a discovery track record. That team needs to be able to raise money in good times and bad, and should have a considerable amount of their own money at stake. As the founder and CEO of Cabral Gold, I myself have invested $2 million of my own money in the company, and I do not expect anyone to contemplate an investment in Cabral unless I'm leading by example. That means I'm aligned with Cabral shareholders. News flow is also key, and motivating and attracting the best possible people is critical. As an example, we were recently able to add a new director to our board called Vinicius Dominguez. Vinicius is head of permitting and regulatory affairs for Vale, Brazil's largest mining company, which has a market cap of over $65 billion US. We think that the fact that we have been able to attract somebody like Vinicius to our board speaks volumes about our commitment and our ability to attract the very best people. The Tapajós district really is unique. Cuiú Cuiú was the largest placer camp during the Tapajós gold rush, and the Tapajós gold rush was not only the largest gold rush in Brazil ever recorded, but also the largest gold rush in the world. The Mining Agency of Brazil estimates that there was 2 million ounces extracted from the streams at Cuiú Cuiú during that rush. That is 10 times more placer gold than was recovered from the streams at the Tocantinzinho deposit, which, as I mentioned, is located immediately to the southeast of Cuiú Cuiú. Incidentally, that deposit is now the third largest gold mine in Brazil, producing 200,000 ounces a year. And for every ounce of placer gold that was recovered during the 1980s at Tocantinzinho, there's 10 ounces in the underlying hard rock, which is being mined right now as we speak. If that 1-to-10 ratio holds for Cuiú Cuiú, our project could contain 20 million ounces. The sheer size of the gold anomaly at Cuiú Cuiú is one of the largest I have ever seen in my career. In addition, we have not just one new discovery, but we have 4 discoveries here, and that's in addition to the 2 existing gold deposits. One of these new discoveries, Mashishi Northeast, recently returned some spectacular drill results, including 12 meters at 27.7 grams gold and 11 meters at 33 grams gold. In addition, there are numerous boulder fields at Cuiú Cuiú with very, very high grades. For example, 91 grams average grade, 75 grams a ton average grade. These are just 2 separate boulder fields which are 5 kilometers apart, and thus far, we don't know the source of these boulders. I think that most junior mining CEOs would give their right arm to control a fraction of the Cuiú Cuiú district, and we own that district in its entirety. Balancing near-term cash flow from the oxide starter project with the long-term potential of the project is a challenge. However, unlike most other new mining construction builds, we intend to continue our exploration drilling program during the build stage. The reason for this is that the really big prize at Cuiú Cuiú is growing the hard rock resource as fast as possible. And we want to do that during the construction phase and beyond. We expect to significantly expand the exploration program and the number of drills operating. We currently have 3 on site once we achieve cash flow from the starter operation, because at that time we'll be self-funding and should not need to raise additional funds through dilutive equity financings. Our strategy to fund growth at Cuiú Cuiú while minimizing shareholder dilution consists of a 2-phase development strategy. Stage 1 will consist of an initial 3,000 ton a day mining operation to mine and heap leach process the near-surface weathered material at Cuiú Cuiú, which is all free digging. This should result in significant after-tax cash flows at current gold prices, most likely in the order of 50 to 60 million US dollars a year. And the bulk of this cash will go towards the much larger Stage 2 development of a hard rock mining operation. In order to make the construction decision on Stage 2 in the future, we need to expand the current resource base. And we need to do drilling in order to expand that resource base. So the cash flow from Stage 1 will more than fund that required drilling and eliminate the need for future dilutive equity financings. It'll essentially mean that we're self-funding. I see Cabral's role within the emerging Tapajós Gold Province as a trailblazer. We were the first exploration team to systematically look at the Tapajós, and thus far we've discovered more ounces than anyone else in this part of the world. We believed in the potential of the Tapajós when no one else did. In my opinion, what makes us one of the best gold exploration teams in Brazil. G Mining are builders and operators, but do not have a track record of discovery. We think our Cuiú Cuiú project will ultimately grow to be one of the biggest gold deposits in the Tapajós, and we're on a mission just to prove that. Building trust with communities, regulators, and stakeholders in northern Brazil in our area is very, very important. We have had a long-term presence in Brazil and have built some excellent relationships at all levels of government and through communities in which we work. We're particularly passionate about improving living standards in the community of Cuiú Cuiú and employing as many local people as possible, as well as purchasing as much as we can from the local community. I'm really proud of the work that we've done in the community of Cuiú Cuiú. Some of the things that we've been involved in include we organized a rubbish collection service so that every house now has a big drum where they can dispose of their waste, and we pick that up once a week. We built a health clinic in the village. There was no health clinic before we arrived, and we pay a full-time nurse which offers free medical care to the community. We renovated the school and then lobbied very hard and partially funded the construction of a brand new school. It's got one of the most advanced computer labs in the entire region. We funded the drilling of several water boreholes together with our drill contracting partners. We bought tanks, and we've excavated new water pipes so that everybody in the village has running water all year round. This wasn't previously the case. And also, we brought high-speed internet to the community. Regarding the biggest opportunities and risks in terms of advancing Cuiú Cuiú into production, I would say this. If we're successful in executing our Stage 1 starter operation at Cuiú Cuiú, we should be producing 25,000 ounces of gold per year at an all-in sustaining cost of just $1,210 per ounce. At the current gold price, this means we should be making a profit of almost $3,000 per ounce, or around about 70 million US dollars per year. This will not only fund a very aggressive exploration drill program targeting expansion of the much larger hard rock operation and the resources therein, but it will also give us the ability to do other things, like expanding our operation or acquiring other projects. And as I've said several times already, it will also allow us to completely eliminate any further dilutive equity financings. Beyond the numbers, we also will be able to create lasting value for the community. We plan to provide stable, well-paying jobs, offer training programs for local people, and offer support to local suppliers wherever possible. We're committed to contributing to the community in which we work, the infrastructure, improving the infrastructure, and environmental initiatives that benefit the long-term, the region in the long term. While every mining project faces challenges, we believe the main operational considerations will involve maintaining skilled workforce, managing seasonal weather conditions, and ensuring the timely delivery of equipment. These are all factors that we can plan for and actively manage as we move forward. Regarding my personal philosophy for building a successful gold company in Brazil, I would say this. It's important to know how to get things done in Brazil, and that requires a long-term commitment and lots of patience. In my opinion, newcomers underestimate the need to understand the language and to be able to speak Portuguese. Brazil offers an exceptional combination of opportunity and capability. It has a very deep pool of skilled professionals, a well-established mining culture, and some of the most prospective underexplored geology anywhere in the world. Add to that the ability to drill in Brazil all year round, thanks to the climate. It's easy to see why Brazil stands out as one of the most attractive places to invest in the mining industry.